Hi guys, welcome to the MCQs of SCPM. I am CA Anuj Jalota. We have put more than 100 of videos till now. One common thing across all those videos that you all will find that every question I have tried to be giving justice to. Even if I have done that concept before, more or less I try to be repeating the entire concept once more. That instills great amount of memory and it helps you to try to revise the things that you all have already done. The best way you can try to be making use of all these videos is that whenever you watch such videos, try to comment the correct answer. In case I've already told the correct answer before you could comment, just put down that correct answer. So therefore you leave kind of a small thing over there, which will help your brain register that entire answer. Okay. In case you wish to be purchasing my complete course, then there is a link in the description. You all can be doing that. And I would request that join our Telegram channel in the group for the updates on this subject. Now, we are constantly putting efforts to ensure that we are reaching right audience. So help me to share such videos to all those students who are there in CA final and who still have to be giving this paper. Let's start it off. So what are features of lean startup business? You might have heard this term a lot these days. So what are the features of a lean startup business? First, it begins with a business plan prepared forehand and is driven towards its implementation. Second, product development. New product development is based upon build, measure, learn, feedback loop. Development is based on customer needs. Speed of implementation is measured and operate on complete data. Management reporting is primarily based on accounting and financial information. Fifth, failure is expected. It is fixed by iterating the idea and pivoting away from the ones that do not work. So what are the features? You have all these options over there. Okay, so let me not say, we'll try to say what are the features. Okay, see, might be one of the best examples in India of a lean startup is something like Ola. Now, what do you mean by a lean startup? First of all, lean means clean. Okay, lean, this guy has a lean body. Okay, so lean means clean body. Okay, no wastages. Companies which start off with the idea obviously do not have much amount of funds themselves. So one thing that they have to be doing, save on to the cost. These guys don't have any set kind of a business model in place. They try to do something. If it does not work, they try to change themselves. And then they try to come out with their next idea. We often say that these guys try to develop a MVP, minimum viable product. Okay, something that can be sold. And then based upon the response to that, they try to innovate further, make a better product. Like when Ola had started in India, to be very honest, by Bhavish Agarwal. And one more guy, I guess I've forgotten his name just now. So at that time, what these guys had done, they just made a basic app. So therefore you could book taxi. But from that time till today, like that was a MVP, a minimum viable product. But from that time till today, see what are the features that those guys have done. And from being a startup now, it is an established company. Now it makes the electric vehicles also, so on and so forth. Obviously, when you are a startup, you will require funds. Okay. So funds are raised from the investors, from the angel investors up and so on. Apart from that, they learn a lot from their failures. It is expected that these guys will be doing a failure only, but then for them, it is failure is the first ladder to success also. Okay. They don't have established way of functioning. They don't have departments they all work whereby one guy can be doing many jobs also. Okay. So these are whatever are the features of such kind of companies. Okay, now based on that, let me try to have just something that I prepared for you all. What are lean startups? Instead of creating elaborative business plans, lean startups offers a framework for the startup to test, learn and adjust their strategy through a cycle of continuous improvement. Alternatively, one can say that lean startup is an approach to build a new business based on the belief that entrepreneurs must investigate, experiment, test and iterate as they develop the products. Therefore, the founders of lean startup don't begin with a business plan. Rather, they begin a search. They begin with a search for a business plan. Like, to give you a small example, when when OYO Rooms was also started, okay, It was started in a small way, okay, not in a very big way. If you try to listen to the owner, you'll start to realize that what all he has done to make OAO rooms reach till this level. Only after quick rounds of experimentation and feedback, they reveal a model that works. For example, a company like say Ola, okay, it didn't become a success in an overnight way. They had to be doing so much. If you'll start to be thinking, they had to try to bring together two things. One of them are customers, bring them to the app, and bring the drivers also to their model. Okay. And in beginning, they had to encourage the drivers to use their app. And honestly, it is a very tough thing. Like, today everybody wants to be riding on Ola, Uber because it has become a trend. But back in those days, driver community was a very unorganized sector. To try to convince them to come to this kind of a platform is a very difficult thing. I'm aware of that because I had started one company called as Hike Den. That was a trekking company that we all approximately had till 2 or 3 years in 2015 to 2018. And we started to bring all the trekkers together because I used to trek a lot. So therefore knew a lot of people and told them you can organize the treks, but tell those people who are interested in treks to register with us up and so on. It worked for some time, but after some time, what these guys had started to do, because they had to be paying us some commission, okay, they started to approach those people who wanted to go on trek themselves only. So therefore, it never ever became a success for us. Okay. So it's very difficult job to try to convince because part of their earnings, okay, will be going to the platform. I'm reading further. Only after a quick rounds of experimentation and feedback reveal a model that works. Lean startups help organization to take advantage of discover-driven planning, additive manufacturing, design thinking up and so on. Design thinking is a technique whereby you try to come out with new things each and every now. Okay. Now, more about that might be in some other MCQ. So, this is whatever are lean startups. Now, let's try to see what are the features. Okay, we have to say which one is a feature. It begins with a business plan prepared beforehand and is driven towards its implementation. Mostly no. Okay, startups do not have a business plan. They all have few things in mind, but then they also know that they will have to keep on experimenting. Okay, because whatever they think, customer might not try to accept that. Okay, so first one is false. Second, new product development process is based on the build, measure, learn feedback loop. Development is based upon customer needs. Perfectly correct. Okay. In fact, second point contradicts the first point and therefore it is correct. Okay. So here, we try to do something. If it does not work, we try to measure how much did not work. Okay. And then we try to learn what was the flaws in that. And then we try to develop a product based upon the needs of the customer. So second as per me is right. Third, speed of implementation is measured and operates on complete data. To be very honest, like a established company, these guys are not that organized. Okay. They don't try to measure all the things as such. They should measure. They can measure. Okay. Obviously, money will also become a constraint when you will have to be measuring, but they are not that planned. Okay. So therefore, third point, I will not agree. Fourth one. Management reporting is primarily based upon accounting and financial information. Over here, to be very honest, if you're a startup, no, your accounts will be nothing. Your financial information will be nothing. It'll be a useless thing here. Okay, so forget fourth. Okay, it is all wrong. These guys will not have might be a background also to try to take the decision based upon that. Fifth, failure is expected. It is fixed by iterating the idea and pivoting away from the ones that do not work. Absolutely correct, I think. Okay. Failure is expected. Like Ola will be knowing in beginning, this app might not work. Okay. But let's try. They try. Some features the users like, some features the users do not like. So therefore, they try to be removing that. Okay. Some features that the customer might need. Example, if your driver is too fast, there is a button in your app of Ola and Uber both. Okay, that is the emergency or the SOS button. So, that was the need of the hour because you don't know what the driver, you personally don't know the driver, right? Okay. So, these companies, they keep on experimenting and they keep on learning. Okay, whichever ideas do not work, they go away from there. So, I guess second is correct and fifth is correct. I think so. These are the only two ones that are correct. Okay. So answer should be third, I think. Yeah, that should be the correct answer. That's it from my side for today. By the way, this is the QR code of the playlist that contains every possible MCQ that I have put till date. Ensure to share that with your friends. There's one last thing. Complete lectures for CA Inter are there on our YouTube channel. Ensure to check them out, please. Okay, it will be very helpful if my lectures can be reaching the target audience. And these are complete lectures, absolutely, like, whereby a student tries to see all these lectures, they can be getting to 90 plus easily in costing in CA Inter. Okay, I'll see you all next time with another video. Till then, take care. Bye.